Good morning. In this video today, I will show you guys how I use fat quarters to make a different design with my software. So they're jelly rolls, so this is how they look. Some of them, I had purchased two of them, two different packs from Joann's Fabric. They were on sale. My local Joann's had them on sale, and they're called fabric rolls. Some of them you get 5 designs, and some of them you get 10 designs. They're all 100% cotton. So out of the one that I had my eyes set on that I fell in love with was this. This one is like a key design. This one is a wording design. And this one right here is like a world traveler type of design. So I'm going to take and combine these three using my sewing machine, guys. And then once I combine them using my sewing machine, I'm going to take them to my embroidery machine and I'm going to stitch out a really neat design. So if you're interested, just stay tuned. All right, guys. So once you have attached all three of your fabric strips, this is what you're going to have. Now, whatever, depending on what your fabric preference is, that is how you're going to actually sew it down. What I did was I just did 2 rows of stitches on both. I did 2 rows on one strip and 2 rows on the other. And what I'm about to do is take my iron and open up my crease and give it a really good crease, because I want to have this nice and open and flat. So once I do that, I'll be back. All right, guys, I gave it a really good press. And as you can see, I opened up my seams on both panels that I connected. So it's 3 strips that I connected as one. I gave it a really good press. And this is what it's going to look like on the front. It's extremely flat. And all 3 of these different types of fabric are very similar as far as the design and the feel and the texture of the fabric. So that's what I love. I love the keys, I love the wording, and then I fell in love with the one that looks like the what is that, Paris of France, the tower, and it also has different butterflies and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm gonna go to my Digitizing Software and create the letter that I'm gonna attach this to. So stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm at my computer, at my software, and so you can just about do this using any type of digitizing software, but I kind of want to point out a few things. So what I'm going to use the applique fabric for is just this one specific letter, which is the C, and the rest I'm going to do in like a satin stitch. But I kind of played around with how I want the placement, and the C is going to be really the focal point of the shirt. So that's the C is a college applique, and then the rest of the letters are, let me see if I can find my mouse. The rest of the letters are Adele appliques. So once I finish playing around with it to get it sized right, I'll come back with another update. All right, guys, I just made sure that I had everything pretty much sized the way I want it to be once I send it to my embroidery machine so that it can stitch it out. But I can also go to the preview channel. Well, it's not a channel, but the preview page on my software, and it'll give me specific details about the design. So like, for example, right up here, it tells me how many stitches, it tells me the height of the design, it tells me the width, it also tells me how many stitches and how long it's going to take to stitch out. It's going to take 9 minutes and 15 seconds to stitch out. So I have everything centered. Wait a minute, let me go back. Previous page. Yep, I have everything centered how I want it to stitch, and this line right here is the center of the design. So that's the C is going to really be the focal point. And with this fabric that I wound up doing earlier, that's going to be inside of the C. So yeah, all right guys, I'll send it to my machine and then I'll let you all see it stitch guys, back with a really quick update. Over here in my color objects list, I had to, in order, because this is the C is an applique, so in order for me to have it stitch the different colors and stop at each color, I had to give it a different color. So the first, which is the tack down stitch, is going to be blue. The second is going to be the yellow, and then the third, which is the satin stitch, is going to be like a brown color. So I can show you real quick. So this is the tack down stitch that it's doing right now. It's going to tack the fabric down. This is going to be the zigzag stitch, which is going to secure the fabric down to it. And then the brown that's going over top of the design is the satin stitch. So yeah, I had to go back in just to make sure I had everything set up correctly so that my machine will stop and it will allow me to take it off of the machine to place the fabric down. So that's what I'm about to do real quick now. I just want to show you guys the process with it, just to make sure I had everything correct. And then it's gonna do the rest of the letters. All right, guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm gonna quickly show you the process of me sending my designs to my machine. I go up to this little flower. In the corner, it says export machine file. I click it, and that takes me to my embroidery files. My machine accepts DST files, and I'll hit save. I already did it, so it's not gonna let me do it. I'm not gonna overwrite it, so I'm gonna click no, because I'm not gonna override it, but I was just wanting to show you guys how I do it. So it's already been sent, so then I'll go up to this little, where is it at? This little icon right here, looks like a sewing machine. It says send to machine folder. You click on it and you hit send, click on it. And do you want to replace, because it's already been sent. So if it was a new design, I would click yes, send it to the folder, but I'm gonna click no because it's already been sent. Okay, so what I also do is I make this smaller, and then I go to my embroidery machine link, and then I go to search. I find my machine, which is here. I click it. I go to the little flower, which opens up my folders, and then I also go to user. I go to my embroidery machine files, and then I click OK, and that'll bring up all of my machine files that I have. So the folder that I'm looking for, I think I called it Crafter. Let's see. Should be somewhere. I just saw it. Quite a few of them. I have quite a few. I just saw it. Here we are. I click it. So once I click it, it pops up in this window. It gives you a visual of what it's gonna look like, and then that way you can make sure that that's the right design you have or that you want. You click download, and in the bottom underneath it has program files, and so it's gonna download it real quick. It's 100%. So what I do from here, I close this out because it's already been sent to my machine, and I always go back to the file that I actually worked with just to make sure. So now I have to go over real quick to my embroidery machine, and this is my Racoma. I have to put some oil inside of my machine. I always do this before I run my machine to make sure everything is working properly. And then I have to change out my bobbin. And then I had another embroidery file that I was doing. So once I do that and I get everything set up, guys, I'll show you real quick. when I come back. All right, guys. Like I said, I had to do some maintenance on my machine, so I have a fresh bobbin inside. I had to change my #1 needle to the color that I'm going to be using to embroider with, which is going to be like it's like a greenish gold color. I guess you could say it's like a gold color. Yeah, so I thought that would give it really good contrast. But then again, I may use a brown. I'm not exactly sure which one I'll finally use in the end product. But just wanted to show you all a little bit about my Racoma and how I find my files. So I always hit File, and then I go hit, because it should be the last one that was sent to my machine, which is right here, Crafter. It's 7,770 stitches. I click it, and then it shows up down here at the bottom. I click OK, and it sends it to, from the computer, it sends it to my machine. Then I also go to Design Set, because I turn my shirts upside down when I sew because of the framing. This framing right here, when I do the trace around it, I don't want it to catch my shirts. When I used to do it with the neck part this way, it would catch my shirts and it would rip them sometimes. So I always send it in the wider part towards the back of the shirt. So okay, I'll hit my frame, and then I'll hit the upside down F and hit OK, and see how it changed it within my software. It made it read upside down, and that's exactly how I'm going to stitch it. So I'm going to hit Escape, and then I'm going to load my hoop on with my fabric. All right, guys, I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, guys, I have it on my machine, and I did I guess it's called the tack down stitch, the zigzag stitch, and the blue color. I know I have a little bit of cleaning up to do, but it's doing really, really well for me to, for it to be my first time using the applique font. So no issues, really no issues. Like I said, I have to go over and clean up the edges on everything, but looks good to me so far. Absolutely good. All right, guys, I'll come back with another update in a little bit. Guys, it's all finished stitching out. I'm gonna take it off the machine, clean up around the ends, tidy everything up, and then I'll show you some pictures of what it looks like. So stay tuned.